Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Super excited you made it here today. Today is the kickoff of my Halloween makeup. This year we're calling it Blonde and Suspicious, hashtag Halloween. And so that's what the series is going to be called this year. Super stoked to be starting with this breakaway muscle recreation. I did something similar 2 years ago. Okay, so I did something similar 2 years ago. It was a half face. Oh, you can kind of see. So it was a half muscle face, and it was really fun to do, and I wanted to challenge myself to do something similar, but a little bit better technically this year. So I went ahead and broke apart part of my face, added that muscle underneath, and I feel like it turned out even better than it did before. So I'm super excited about it. So if you want to see how to get this exposed muscle look, please keep watching. Oh, and I'm going to be telling you guys a ghost story in every video this week. So this video's ghost story is the Brown Lady of Raynham Hall. It's a really cool one, ghost story from England. So hopefully you guys enjoy that as well. Okay, now for real. If you want to see how to get this look and you want to listen to a ghost story and you want to get into a spooky mood, please keep watching. Alright, so let's tell a ghost story while we watch this makeup tutorial. As promised, I'm going to be telling you the story of the Brown Lady of Raynham Hall. So the Brown Lady of Raynham Hall is a ghost that reportedly haunts the Raynham Hall in Norfolk, England, and it is one of the most famous hauntings in Great Britain. So she was originally seen when some photographers from Country Life magazine claimed to have captured her image. She is named the Brown Lady because she wears a very elaborate brown gown, and it's claimed that's what she's in every time somebody sees her. So, who is the Brown Lady of Raynham Hall? So the Brown Lady of Raynham Hall is the ghost of Lady Dorothy Walpole. She was born in 1686, died in 1726, and is the sister of Robert Walpole, who was the first Prime Minister of Great Britain. She is the second wife of Charles Townshend, who is known throughout Great Britain for his violent temper. The story goes that he discovered Dorothy had committed adultery with Lord Wharton, and he punished her by locking her in her room in their family home of Raynham Hall. And according to a friend of Dorothy's, she was entrapped by the Countess of Wharton. So she invited Dorothy to stay with her for a few days, knowing that her husband was never going to allow her to leave her home, even to see her children. So she remained at Raynham Hall until her death in 1726, and she actually died of smallpox. So she wasn't killed by her husband or anything like that. He just had her locked in the towers, basically like a Disney princess, but with a worse ending. And she ended up dying of smallpox. So that's really sad. She wasn't very old. Let's see, how old was she? How old was she? 1726. And she died. Well, she was 40, but still, that's not all that old. So let's talk about the sightings. So she was first seen by Lucia C. Stone when there was a gathering at Raynham Hall in the Christmas of 1835. So Stone says that Charles Townshend had invited various people to the hall to join in Christmas festivities, and Loftus, who was a colonel at the time, and another guest named Hawkins said that they saw a brown-dressed lady one night as they approached their bedrooms, noting in particular the dated dress that she was wearing. So it obviously wasn't one from the current times. And the following evening, they also claimed to have seen her again, reporting that on this occasion, he was drawn to her empty eye sockets on her glowing face. So that sighting led to a lot of the staff to leave Raynham Hall because they were concerned about the hauntings. So the next reported sighting of the Brown Lady was made in 1836 by Frederick Marryat, a friend of Charles Dickens, actually, and the author of a series of popular novels at the time in the 1800s. So, story goes that he had requested that he spend the night in the haunted room at Raynham Hall in 1836 to prove that the haunting was actually caused by just smugglers in the area who wanted to keep people away. So in 1891, he wrote that he had taken possession of the room in which the Brown Lady's portrait hung, and in which he was often said to be seen, and he slept each night with a loaded revolver under his pillow because, again, he thought that these were smugglers, not a ghost. For 2 days, he didn't see anything, and on the third day, which was the last night he was there, 2 young men knocked at his door and asked them to go into their room and give them his opinion on a new gun that had just arrived from London. So he left. He was just in his shirt and trousers. And even though it was super late, everybody had retired to their rooms already. He went to go to their room just as he was. He wasn't going to get dressed or anything. And as they were leaving, he he grabbed his revolver and gave it to the men. It was just like, just in case you meet the Brown Lady. And he was kind of joking about it. But once the inspection of this gun was over, the young men decided they were going to walk this guy back to his room just in case you meet the Brown Lady. So they were all kind of laughing about this, and they returned to his room. And the corridor was pretty long they were walking on, and all the lights had been turned out. But as they reached the middle of the corridor, they saw a lamp coming towards them from the other end. So one of the men said one of the ladies must be going to visit the nursery, and the bedrooms in that corridor faced each other, so each room had like a double door. And the guy is said to have written that he was uncomfortable because he was only in a shirt and trousers and these women were coming towards him, and he felt like he needed to slip into one of the bedrooms that he was passing because he felt like uncomfortable that he wasn't dressed fully. And he was describing how he watched her come closer and closer until she was close enough to distinguish the colors and styles of her dress through the crack of the door that he had hidden in, and he recognized the figure from the painting in his room as the Brown Lady. So he had his finger on his gun. He was about to demand her to stop so that he could see her presence, when she stopped of her own accord before the door that he was behind and turned towards him and grinned at him. So she knew he was in there, and he was so angry about it. And he's writing this all in his diary. And he said that she was anything but lamb-like in disposition, which is supposedly what was said about her, that he sprang into the corridor with a bound, discharged the revolver in her face, and the figure instantly disappeared. So, 3 men had been looking at this figure together, and the bullet passed through the corridor, lodged in the side of the wall, and then she disappeared, and the guy never attempted to find her again. So she wasn't seen again until 1926, and a man and his son were claimed to have seen the ghost on a staircase, identifying her as Dorothy based on, the dress that she was wearing, of course. So in 1936, Captain Hubert C. Provand was a London-based photographer working for Country Life magazine, and his assistant, Indre Shira, were taking photographs of the Raynham Hall for an article, and they claimed that they had already taken a photo of the hall's main staircase, and they were setting up to take a second one when Shira saw a form gradually assuming the appearance of a woman moving down the stairs towards them. So they quickly took the cap off the camera and pressed the trigger to activate the camera's flash. And later, when the negative was developed in the dark room, they were able to see the Brown Lady, and Dorothy was revealed in this image. So this picture was published in Country Life magazine on December 26th, 1936, along with the photo of Raynham Hall, and the story of the apparition was noted in the 1937 edition of the Life magazine. So shortly after that, paranormal investigators obviously decided to go to the hall. They interviewed Provand and Shira, and they were told the same story that they told the original magazine. They saw the ghost come down the stairs at the precise moment when they were taking the photo. The cap was off the camera, the flashbulb fired, and, that's the picture that we all see now. So, it was the two of them. According to them, they saw it. A lot of people claim that they faked the image, and that it's caused by double exposure, and that light somehow got in the camera. Because this is back in the day when, they had the big cloth that went over the camera, and it was like a whole big ordeal to take pictures. So they had written, a detailed examination of the photograph to show evidence of double exposure. And Joe Nickel has talked about it, and so has Simon Welfare, and they write that there's a pale line above the stair tread indicating that one picture has been superimposed over the other, which means they put two pictures on top of each other, because you can see that the right-hand banister apparently appears twice. I don't see that in the picture, but I'm also not a photography critic, so I don't really know. It might be there, and I just can't see it. So there's a magician, John Booth. He also said that the photo could be easily duplicated by covering somebody in a bedsheet and descending the grand staircase and then double exposing the image so that you could see somebody coming down it. So, you can kind of decide what you think. But there have been lots of sightings of the brown lady of Raynham Hall over the years. So, do with that what you will. I hope that you guys enjoyed this ghost story. I'll leave all of my sources where I got the story in the description box below if you want to look at the picture yourself or look up more information on our dear Dorothy Walpole. But other than that, guys, enjoy the rest of this video and the creepy music that I found to put behind it. Alright guys, this is the final look. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you had fun listening to the ghost story, watching the time-lapse of this makeup look. If you guys recreate it, please tag me on Instagram at BloodandAmbitiousBlog. And if you like this and you're excited for the rest of our Halloween recreations, comment and like below, and subscribe if you're like into that kind of thing. So anyways guys, I hope you have an awesome rest of your week or weekend and an awesome spooky season, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye guys!